Mark Knopfler is arguably one of the greatest guitarists of all times, but it's not just his technique that makes us admire his playing, arguably quite the opposite. If you compare Mark Knopfler to the likes of John Petrucci, Steve Vai, Joe Satriani, you can't really compare the speed, the shredding, the guitar virtuosity, but that doesn't stop us from falling in love with him. In this video I'm going to talk about why I think it's the case, why Mark Knopfler has such a huge impact as a guitarist. We still think of him as one of perhaps the greatest of all. So why is he so good? Why many people call him genius? Why many people call him the greatest of all times? What are his strengths that he leans into to make his playing so legendary, monumental, crucial for the culture of the 70s and influences people until today? Before we start, let me apologize. I'm experiencing terrible hay fever. Sorry if at any point I sound very nasal or I sneezed by accident. Now, without further ado, let's dive in. So I'm going to dissect Mark Knopfler's playing a little bit, his mindset behind it all, like I like to do on this channel. If you're new to the channel, welcome. I talk about music as a fundamental part of our culture, about music that is expression of a human being rather than just business as it's been for the last few decades, what we missed from the great music of 70s and things like that. So subscribe for that. I'm going to give you 5 points why I think Mark Knopfler is so legendary. And the first one is his unique technique. As you probably already know, he doesn't play with a pick. He doesn't play classically with his fingers, but he uses this kind of odd technique where he plugs with his thumb and then his index finger against it, like this. Not many players play like that. There's something about that touch that connects you with the guitar when you don't have the pick as an intermediary. It's kind of more sensitive, more natural, more connected to the guitar. His technique is this sort of weird combination of jazz. For example, Wes Montgomery, who plays with his hand like on the guitar here and with his thumb. You can hear a lot of thickness and body in Wes Montgomery's style. It's firstly because he plays archtop guitar, and then also he sort of leans into the tone with his thumb. Mark Knopfler playing has a little bit of that, but it also has this little slap, which comes from how his hand is sort of nicely parked on the strings here, very closely in contact with the strings. Part of his sound is this single coil, usually Stratocaster, clean sound. I've seen him play some heavy and distorted stuff, and I've seen him play acoustic Spanish guitar with the same technique, and it's quite fascinating how you can always immediately recognize Mark by first few notes and you know that it's him. The second point, the second reason why he's so great, why he's genius, is his melodicity. One of his greatest strengths is to play melodically when you approach your playing sort of like a singer. You could sing this, right? Usually not such a big jumps, very melodic. Yeah. And then, because he's such a great guitarist and he knows all the tips and tricks and scales and techniques, he can throw in some kind of thing that you can do only on the guitar, like bending like this. So then you combine these two. Yeah, this line you wouldn't necessarily sing, but it's something that's really fun and cool to do on the guitar. But if you only did that, if you kept shredding all the time, it would become boring after a while. But he's able to kind of, and then when he plays a song that, let's say, has these 3 chords, we start in D minor, and the last chord is B flat. So I go. So what did I do there on the last chord? I played notes of the chord. That's something called arpeggio. And Mark Knopfler is really good at outlining the harmony of what's in the background of his solo. And he knows where the harmony is going. So we have D, C, B flat, and he knows which notes are in the chord of B flat, which is these 3 notes. And he's able to outline them like this, which also makes it really, really melodic. So number 2, I think his melodicity is out of this world. He's not the fastest guitarist on the planet, even though I know he's known for this these fast twiddly bits. But shredding is not like his thing, right? He plays melodically. So that's one of his biggest strengths, and he's aware of it and uses it so beautifully. Next one, I have confidence. What do I mean here? When you look at Mark Knopfler, when he's performing, he's very okay with being who he is on stage. He's very confident. He's 100% immersed in his playing. This obviously comes from loads and loads of experience and getting comfortable on stage. But it also comes from this mindset where you don't think of showing off. You don't think of, I'm going to show you how it's done. I'm going to be the best guitarist in the world. But you're coming from the place of, I want you to have a great time. I want you to enjoy this as much as you can. I want to transform you with my music. It doesn't come from ego. It's not selfish. It comes from a place of service. If you can genuinely have this mindset, which I believe Mark has, you can really relax into the music itself, really let yourself be immersed in it. This could be topic for the whole separate video, but the egotistical mindset usually comes from some insecurities and traumas, or trying to prove to someone that we're good enough at music, singing, that we can make living making music. I've experienced a lot of this, and I know how it is to play from that dark place, like trying to be like, here I am, acknowledge me, acknowledge that I'm good. And it never comes across well, because people can feel it, people can recognize that you're doing that. When you're performing, usually the audience wants to be invited into the artist's world, and in order to do that, you need to become a bit vulnerable. You need to like put yourself out there and not be afraid to be judged. And the ego is there to sort of like protect you. Oh, I don't want to be hurt. And Mark Knopfler, I don't know how he does it. He seems to be able to put his ego totally aside, be the vehicle of music. It's very pure, it's very beautiful. When he plays, he has this sort of songwriting composition mindset. Whenever I go to jam sessions, there would be 2 types of players. One of them, they would just want to shred scales and show their techniques. The second would be actually able to think in the composition mindset. When you're improvising, you're basically composing something in real time. Let's see, so let's play like... Now, this is not the greatest song of all times by any means, but I'm trying to work with some themes. I'm not going about it purely with like, oh, I'm going to shred and show you. But I'm trying to, again, think as a singer, think as a composer. So what could I do here? Maybe repeat. And we have a theme. Mark Knopfler is able to think as a composer. I mean, he is a composer, he is a songwriter. He has all these skills to write a good song, to have this meta vision of what the song is going to be like, even when he's improvising. He can build up the solo beautifully. Mark Knopfler isn't just thinking in terms of like bars, few bars. He thinks in terms of the whole thing. Where he starts, where he's going to go, what story he's going to tell. Not specifically in words, but he can hold this high level sort of vision for where he's going with his solo. So that's number 4. Fourth reason why Mark Knopfler is so great. When he's playing, he has this composition mindset. Whether it's pre-composed, usually by him and his band, or whether it's he's able to think as a composer even when he's playing solos. The last one kind of relates to the confidence thing. He's able to be himself. I wrote down authenticity. He embraces being different. That's the technique I talk about. He embraces his strengths. He leans into the melodic playing rather than trying to be a shredding universal guitar player. Specific technique, way of writing. Even with his singing, he's not trying to be virtuoso, soulful, Marvin Gaye type of singer. He plays into his strengths. He has this deep narration sort of voice, and he uses it really well. I've done this mistake in the past a lot myself. I'm not a great singer in terms of a range and things like that. I think I have interesting color of the voice, but I was trying to be this like, be able to sing everything, be like Bobby McFerrin and all these virtuosos. And by trying to do something I wasn't cut out to, and by not playing into my strengths, I was actually losing a lot of energy trying to achieve this. So again, self-awareness is really important. Authenticity, leaning into what you're good at. And Mark Knopfler, again, over the years, figured it out, managed it, worked on it so much. That could be another point, another reason his work ethic must have been insane too. That's about it, guys. Thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments what you think about Mark Knopfler and his perhaps other strengths or weaknesses, why he's so good, why you love him, or perhaps don't like him so much. Let me know if you like this type of video. Maybe I can do more artists, more guitarists, performers. If you want to support this channel, check the links below. You can work with me on a one-to-one basis, just book a free consultation. We jump on a Zoom call and see how I can help you with your guitar playing, mindset behind performing, songwriting, production. Check out my Buy Me a Coffee website. You can request reaction, request a cover, or just support this channel. You can also download a completely free PDF musician limiting belief checklist to kind of go through some of the common limiting beliefs that musicians hold and that hold us back from progressing, advancing, being our best authentic self. And yeah, that's about it. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, comment, press like. See you in the next one. Keep it funky.